Welcome to your September 2021 horoscope. My name is Cailin, and today I'm going to be covering all of the major transits using tropical astrology and the whole sign system. I strongly recommend that you watch your horoscope for your ascendant sign first and foremost, because it will be the most overall accurate for you. The sun sign horoscope will pertain more to your career and your life goals, whereas your moon sign horoscope will tell you more about your family life and your current living circumstances. If you have time to watch all three horoscopes, I recommend that you do so because it will give you a very well-rounded and blended picture of what you can expect for the month ahead. And now let's dive into the horoscopes. Hi Aries Sun, Moon and Risings. Welcome to your September 2021 horoscope. On the 3rd of September, Mars in Virgo in your 6th house will be opposed by Neptune in Pisces in your 12th house. Mars is your ruling planet, and it represents the energy and the effort that you put into things. Given that Mars is in your 6th house of health, work and your daily workout regime, this can see you being dissolved of this energy because Neptune will essentially make your energy evaporate. So if you're trying really hard to complete some kind of exercise workout program, or if you're trying to carry out some kind of errand for work, you may be better off taking a break, having a nap, meditating, or even just leaving these tasks for tomorrow. On a different level, the 6th house rules over your boss and your employees. So if you enter into any kind of conflict or confrontation with one of these individuals, unfortunately, you can come off looking like the bad guy. And that's because Neptune has an ability to manipulate things and create illusions. Neptune is also associated with martyrdom. Now, given that Neptune is in your 12th house of hidden enemies, any kind of confrontation which you initiate can make you seem like some kind of petty tyrant. So it's best to leave any kind of difficult conversations for a different day. Now, on the 3rd of September, Mercury in Libra in your 7th house will trine Saturn in Aquarius in your 11th house. Your 7th house rules over your one-on-one partnerships and relationships, and the 11th house represents your long-term goals and projects. Given that this is a trinal aspect, you can experience high levels of motivation when it comes to completing some kind of long-term project. On a different level, any kind of praise or credit which you attribute to co-workers, your siblings, your teammates, or your clients can have a very positive impact on your public image. And that is because Mercury represents communication. It rules over your 3rd house of colleagues, clients, and teammates, and your 6th house of work and your working relationships. Saturn rules over your 10th house of career and public visibility. So how you treat others in the workplace and in an online forum will not go unnoticed by the public. And this can really cut both ways. On the one hand, if you are being unnecessarily critical of other people, and especially individuals that you work with, your bosses or your superiors may take notice of this. But on the flip side, if you are very generous with your praise and with your compliments, this will have a very beneficial impact on your reputation. Now, on the 6th of September, Venus in Libra in your 7th house will trine Jupiter in Aquarius in your 11th house. The 7th house represents your one-on-one relationships and partnerships. The 11th house is all about your wider network, and it also represents social media. So this transit can see you connecting or forming some kind of relationship with an individual who is very influential. They could be very wise. They could be some kind of mentor or teacher. This person could be involved in the spiritual community or some kind of religious community. In any case, this relationship or this collaboration can have a very positive impact on your social media presence. The 7th house rules over your audience. So Jupiter, having the energy of expanding things and broadening your horizons, can lead you to seeing some kind of big spike in your social media following. And then on the 7th of September, we will see a new moon in Virgo in your 6th house. It will be opposed by Neptune in Pisces in your 12th house, And the new moon will also be trining Uranus and Taurus in your second house and trining Pluto in Capricorn in your 10th house. That's quite a mouthful, but just bear with me because I'm going to unpack the number of ways that this can influence you. Now, on one level, with the 6th house ruling over your work, you could be welcoming a new employee on board. You may become a boss, or you may simply be changing jobs or even changing departments. This can have a very positive impact on your public persona, and that's because of this trine to Pluto in your 10th house. Pluto will really transform your reputation. So any kind of new job that you take on, new employee that you bring on board, or even if you are elevated to a position of being a manager or a supervisor, this will have a flow-on effect which can see you having a transformed reputation for being someone who is a very powerful leader. On a different level, this new moon in your 6th house can lead to an unexpected increase in your finances. And that is thanks to this trine to Uranus in your 2nd house. The 2nd house is all about your finances, your valuables, and your possessions. And Uranus is all about sudden happenings which come out of left field. So you may see a drastic increase in your finances that you just didn't see coming. Now, on a different level, the 2nd house rules over your wardrobe and it rules over food. And Uranus can see you unceremoniously tossing out maybe your whole wardrobe, or perhaps you're deciding to cut out some things from your diet which are having a negative impact on your health. Now, this new moon has mostly positive aspects. The one downside is this opposition to Neptune in your 12th house. And this can manifest as you thinking that things are too good to be true. Maybe this new job is going really well. Maybe this employee is doing a great job and you're thinking that it really can't be going this well. How can it possibly have any kind of longevity to it? But the good news is that with this trine to Pluto in your 10th house, this is a transformation which will not be reversed. So whatever good comes from this new moon in Virgo in your 6th house will actually have a long-lasting impact. And then on the 15th of September, Mars will enter the sign of Libra, which means it will be transiting your 7th house of one-on-one relationships and partnerships. Mars, once again, being your ruling planet, represents the action that you are taking. So you may actually instigate confrontations and arguments and disagreements with people that you are in a one-on-one relationship with. More specifically, this can represent your spouse, your significant other, your business partner, your second-born child, or even your maternal grandmother. Now, the energy of this transit will see you feeling like they are the ones who are being difficult or that they are provoking you. But because Mars, your ruling planet, is transiting your 7th house, you are actually projecting this energy into the relationship and then you're experiencing it being mirrored back to you. Now, of course, this is a general reading, so this isn't going to play out for everyone in this way. On the positive side, this can see you motivating these individuals in your life. Maybe they are trying to start some kind of new chapter and they just need your moral support, and you're able to give these pep talks and these inspirational, motivational speeches, which basically just get a fire going in their belly. Now, on a different note, you may be going into bat for someone. You may be fighting for them and for their rights. With Mars in your 7th house, you can be an advocate for this person. In any case, this transit can absolutely trigger the killer instinct and the protective nature, which pretty much all Aries have inside. Now, on the 21st of September, there will be a full moon in Pisces at 28 degrees, and it will be conjunct Neptune in your 12th house. It will also be sextiling Pluto in Capricorn in your 10th house. The 12th house rules over spirituality, and it is also connected to artistic projects and creative endeavors. The full moon here can see you achieving some kind of creative milestone, or perhaps you're completing some kind of creative project. So this could be connected to spirituality, yoga, astrology. You may be hosting some kind of spiritual retreat. And given that this full moon is sextiling Pluto in Capricorn in your 10th house, this will transform your public reputation. Pluto rules over your 8th house, which represents transformations. So whatever milestone you are achieving around this time, which is connected to creativity and spirituality, this can not only transform your public reputation, but this can transform you on a very deep and psychological level. On a different note, you may simply experience a psychological breakthrough, which allows you to understand the self-sabotaging behaviors which you have been exhibiting. The 12th house is sometimes referred to as the house of self-undoing. And because we've got Pluto in your 10th house here in this full moon, you can finally understand the ways in which you've been holding yourself back when it comes to achieving progress in your career. Now, on the 23rd of September, Venus in Scorpio in your 8th house will be opposed by Uranus in Taurus in your 2nd house. The 2nd house and the 8th house in astrology are both money houses. So this can see you investing a lot of money in your long-term goals. And it's likely that you weren't expecting to invest this amount of money, and that is because Uranus carries a very chaotic and unpredictable energy here. Uranus rules over your 11th house of your long-term goals and dreams. So on one level, yes, you may spend a lot of money unexpectedly, but on a different note, with Venus in your 8th house of mutual resources, there may be sudden support or unexpected support from your significant other, or perhaps their family is investing in your long-term goals and dreams. On a different note, you may be able to access your inheritance money early. Now, money that you earn from some services that you offer can see you basically garnering some kind of huge windfall here. Uranus in your 2nd house represents dramatic fluctuations in your finances. So your mutual resources can dramatically fluctuate, and this can be extremely unexpected. It can come out of left field. Now, on a different note, this transit can see there being an opportunity that arises where you can collaborate with someone, and this can increase your earning potential. Now, lastly, for the month, on the 27th of September, we will see Mercury stationing retrograde in your 7th house of one-on-one relationships. With Mercury retrograde in Libra, this can see you reevaluating all of your one-on-one relationships. This is really make or break time for you. If you are in any kind of committed relationship, whether that's with your significant other, a business partner, a client, or some kind of contract that you have for work, this can see you renegotiating the terms of this relationship or renegotiating the contract that you have with another individual. In any case, Mercury retrograde in Libra can see you trying to rebalance these relationships. So any relationship which is out of balance and which is experiencing a lack of equality, this is really the time for you to assess whether it's worth it anymore. A lot of you will be cutting ties in a number of your one-on-one relationships. But on a different note, when Mercury is retrograde, we can see exes coming out of the woodwork, whether that's your ex-spouse, an ex-friend, an ex-client, or even an ex-boss. With Mercury ruling your 6th house, you can just be inundated with calls, messages, emails, or literally people knocking on your door who are trying to get back with you. So a lot of you may decide to give a relationship a second chance. Maybe your relationship with your significant other has been on the rocks. Maybe you've been estranged from a sibling or from some kind of childhood friend, and now you're deciding whether you want to give this relationship a second chance. Lastly, with this transit, if you are waiting on paperwork or documentation from your employees or from a potential boss or even from your actual boss, this paperwork may be delayed. Any kind of correspondence or paperwork that you are expecting from anyone that you're in a one-on-one relationship with, may be delayed, renegotiated, or even rescinded. So if you're signing contracts at this time, just read the fine print very, very carefully. Don't enter into any contracts without reviewing it several times or even getting a solicitor or someone else to give it a once over. And so Aries, that's all I have for you for September 2021. If you enjoyed this horoscope, please give the video a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more content on this channel, please hit the subscribe button. Enjoy your month ahead, and I will see you next month.